Hi everybody, Captain Dave. Had a rough morning, had a real tumultuous start to my day. Well, you know what? That's not entirely true. It was more of a rough ending to my day yesterday. I had some outboard troubles, and at this point, I don't even know if I told you about that. I may have mentioned that in my vlog yet last night that I posted today. But anyway, I wound up going out to the Evinrude trailer. The Evinrude trailer and Power Pole, Mercury, Ranger, everybody, they show up. These corporate trailers show up to assist the professional tournament fishermen when they're in town, or if they have a breakdown, you pull up to the trailer and these guys are right there, kind of Johnny on the spot. It's a pretty cool deal, and they're real supportive of their fishermen, the people that use their products and what have you. Well, fortunately for me, the Evinrude guy didn't have anything going on this morning, or as early as, well, it was actually last night when I first talked to him, because my motor just quit running. I got a code, I got that loud squeal from my motor, and it was saying service immediately, and it wouldn't run. And I knew I had some sort of an issue. Well, took it over there, took it to him last night. He told me to clean the contacts up. I did that last night. Got in there with my Dremel and cleaned it all up. And then today, it was still coding, so today I went out and actually met with him, and he wound up tearing the whole thing apart and fixing it. And so I big time shout out to Evinrude and the corporate, and to John over at the trailer and everything else. They absolutely got me running again. So the big beauty is as pretty as she is, she's also pretty on the inside again too. Got it running. It wound up being a control module that worked itself loose and got out of timing, and these things are so sophisticated. But apparently he feels real comfortable with the fix, and they kind of, as a company, they isolated what that problem actually was, and they were just kind of fixing them as they came up. So it worked out good. It worked out really good. I'm not going to skip a beat. I've got a guide trip in the morning, and actually I got two guys coming in that are going to be artificial fishing. But what I want to do with you today, what I want to do with you right now, is I want to go through the boat. And I want to do that welcome to my boat kind of a deal. And I'll probably save this for posterity as well. For those of you who don't know what posterity means, it means for a long time so that I can use it over and over again. At least I think that's what it means. Anyway, so let's get going on this. We'll start here. I'll just kind of do a walk by the boat here and talk a little bit. First of all, I run a Minn Kota Ultrex motor. This is something that's fairly new. I use, you can see here that I've got a Transducer Shield and Saver company, and they make these awesome apparatuses that hold your transducers in safe places. I run a structure scan on my trolling motor, as well as the down scan and everything from my Lowrance Electronics. These Ultrex motors are crazy cool. It's just unbelievable how well they work. For them to come out with an electronic steering motor with all the bells and whistles that electronic motors have, and to put it in a cable drive situation, which is what we have right here. It's cable driven, just like the quality motors that like the Fortrex and all that kind of thing. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm not sponsored by these people. I'm just telling you, this stuff flat out works. I use, what's real important here too, from Transducer Shield. Now I want you to see this one, and these guys do. I am on their pro staff, but they create this thing called a grass shredder. And as you can see here, you got to drill some holes in your motor, and that's the only part that scares me, but I've done it twice now, and it just works so well. But this little baby right here, put in the right place, absolutely keeps that prop clean. And so I wind up in situations where I'm fishing hay fields and things like that. I don't even have to lift the motor up. A lot of times too, I'll just put it on a higher speed and shake it like this with the electronic steering, and it just cleans itself. It clears itself. Absolutely amazing. Of course, I run the Lowrance Electronics. I've got Gen 3 HDS 12s, and you'll see me using those, but I use them all the time. People say, why do you have those on a boat like this in Lake Okeechobee? And I'm going to tell you something. I have found some incredibly important things with this electronics. I can read, even off in shallow water, 3 or 4 feet of water, I can see the bottom content 40, 50, 80 feet away, sometimes 100 feet away, depending on what exactly I'm in. I can see what the bottom looks like, and more importantly, I can see the bottom hardness, and that's really important. Hard bottom, clear water down here, it's really the deal. And so that's why these are so important to me. Obviously, big screens. Why not run a big screen if you can? I mean, it's about as simple as that. You run multiple units because, quite frankly, they're computers. And when you have a computer, the more that you have, you know, if I'm running multiple computers, instead of running 3 or 4 applications on one, I run 1 or 2. It just makes the whole thing run faster. My favorite line is people say, why do you have 3 of these things on your boat? And the only answer I can come up with is because there is just no place to put a 4th one. This just in, I got some jackass that just showed up. Oh, that's not a jackass, that's John. Hey, John. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, Dave.
John's got a boat too. It's the prettiest boat on the lake, without a doubt. If you like pukey yellow and I'm sorry, did I say that? We'll back up. It's the prettiest boat on the lake, especially if you like yellow and what have you. John and I run a lot of the same stuff. John's got a Fortrex on here, but we don't really care about John's stuff too much, do we? Because you're probably not going to fit, unless you're here for something special. Unless you're looking for something special, you know. John does run a lot of the same equipment. I see he's got at least one here. He's got an Ardent reel here. We won't show that to the Ardent company. I'm fairly certain he's on pro staff with me. But he's got a beautiful. I'm not taking that out. He's got a beautiful Ranger boat. He does. He runs. Yeah, I guess get back and look at his bass. This is really not about him, but we will make this one moment. Nice little passing scene here, and there's a big old bass. And there's a big old John. That's John. That's John. You guys don't know John. Anyway, let's get back to my stuff. Moving to the interior of the boat. You know, I've got 2 consoles, and 2 consoles are always nice. You know, anytime you can hide your guests behind a nice, comfortable place to sit. That's a nice deal. Got a drink holder down here that's in the way here. I also run 2 modular seats. You know, sometimes I run no seats. You know, if you're shiner fishing, it's nice to be able to sit down. And so I have 2 of these seats, and I'll put another one up front here. You can see the deck is huge. If you're fishing artificials and you got 2, sometimes 3 guys, it's really nice to have a big deck. You know, I carry a lot of gear like most fishermen do, and when you do that, you got to have a way to take good care of stuff. You can see that I keep everything in so that you put your hands on nice equipment and it's not all dinged up and tore up. I keep all my reels in bags. You know, I keep all my rods sleeved up. I really actually don't have a lot of stuff in here because this is just the stuff that I was using in the tournaments that I was fishing here recently. So I don't have a ton of stuff in here, but you know, I've got plenty of rod storage in here. This is usually where I keep my shiner gear, and this is where I usually keep my artificial stuff, and I mix back and forth sometimes. Oh, hey, you guys have all seen the Darth Vader masks, the Vader masks that some guys like to wear. If we get any kind of inclement weather, the old safe face mask comes out, and these things are awesome. Joanna actually put a little bit of the graphics from my boat on them, so it kind of makes it look like my stuff. I guess that's cool. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna pull out some rods and things like that and lay them on the deck so you can kind of get a good look at the stuff. I want you to understand that you're not gonna be using junk when you're fishing with me. I've spent the money on what I consider to be the very nicest stuff and most appropriate stuff for fishing in what is absolutely full contact fishing down here on Lake Okeechobee. This is I've sawed some rods off before and things like that, and I had one rep tell me that he told the people back in the offices that, look, these guys are fishing, it's full contact down there on Lake Okeechobee. You know, we're breaking stuff. So the stuff that I've got is held up pretty well, and I'm really digging it. So let me show you. I'm gonna get my rods out, and I'm gonna give you a good look at that stuff too. I want you to see the Ardent equipment that I'm using and what have you. So be right back with that. All right, guys. Well, hey, I pulled out some gear for you just to kind of give you a rough idea. You know, I have a full line of spinning gear. The nice thing about that is the handles switch to either side, so I can accommodate you. These are really nice quality halo rods that got a nice backbone. You can fish just about any technique on them, and it's one of those deals where if you want to fish shiner or if you want to fish artificials, but you're not a real avid bass fisherman per se, this is a way for you to kind of get yourself into that, you know, and be able to use it and do the techniques that are required. And here I have our shiner setups. I use a Shakespeare ugly stick, heavy action, and I use a really nice quality Ardent inshore spinning reel. This is called their Magnum. The nice thing about this, it's got a real heavy drag, 22 pound drag, and it's really well suited for digging and cranking fish out of the cover. But I use the ugly stick, and this is the deal now. they're only like 40 bucks a piece. But the truth of the matter is, if the best rod to do that was $400, that's what I would own. I mean, I want the very best stuff. I want the stuff that works the best. And the parabolic bend of that rod is such that with being a composite rod that it is, because this isn't shiner fishing. It's not a field game. It's a see the cork. It's a visual thing. Set the hook, and it just, you don't lose fish on these things very often. They have enough give to them and enough of parabolic bend that when you're fighting a fish, it holds on to them. And graphite can sometimes be a little too much of this, and you can tear the hook out of a big fish. And I've seen it happen. So that's the decision that goes behind this. And I've got 10, 12 of these, easily enough to take care of 3 shiner fishermen at one time. Of course, the artificial stuff when it comes to bait casting. You can see here that I really believe in and like these Apex Grand reels and their Ardent Edge rods. It's good stuff. It's lightweight. The reels are really long casting, and I've been using them now for a full season, and they've held up. They've held up, and I've got them also on cranking rods, and I've just kind of thrown a cross section out here. But the truth is, if you walked into my house, I got rods coming out of my ears, and I'll absolutely have what you need. The thing I want to point out to you though is, you're not using some second-hand shelf stuff. You're using the very stuff that I use every day. The stuff that when you see me fishing on video, it's the same stuff you're going to use when you come in here. And I want you to be aware of that. You know, state-of-the-art electronics, state-of-the-art trolling motor, state-of-the-art tackle, and what have you. Of course, I run a 22-foot Ranger bass boat. This boat is actually pretty old. It's actually 12 years old, but I've taken really good care of it. You can see everything is in excellent condition. The reason I still have a 12-year-old boat is because when they made this thing, it's one of the best hulls they ever made. So what I did is I repowered it. You know that I've got a big G2 on the back of this thing. I have 10-foot power poles, Signature Series blade power poles. Everything here is top notch, man. I run a real good quality aeration system to keep your shiners alive when we're shiner fishing. That's critical. I mean, you pay a lot of money for those things, and I take keeping them alive for you real serious. Listen, at the end of the day, we're going to have a great time. You're going to be in a great boat with good equipment, and it's really kind of one of those best possible situations. And I wanted to show you all this because I want you to know when you come and fish with me, this is exactly what you're going to be coming into, and this is what you can expect. So hey, Captain Dave Schneider, it's a guide's life, it's a guide's gear, and I want you to come see me. I want you to climb in here with me, and let's go catch some fish. All right, now let's go do something else. Helping Major Joe replace a part on his trolling motor he's having trouble with, and my front yard is turned into a bass fishing palooza concert of some sort here. I don't know if that's even a thing, but a bunch of guys showing up here. Big tournament. The Costa FLW Costa Series tournament starts tomorrow. Everybody's in town. There's bass boats everywhere. I can remember when years ago living up in northern Michigan, man, if I saw a bass boat, I'd chase it down just to get a look at it. Now they're everywhere. Everywhere. Fishermen are everywhere. Did that just fucking happen? Can you just fucking believe that I just fucking did that?
Mother Lord.
And I had them so well organized.
Did that happen on video?
Yes, it happened on video.
Yes, baby.
Now I'm gonna have to beep out all those. I have to beep all that too. Somehow, John, listen, I just want to say it for the record. I don't know how yet, but some way, it's his fault.
My fault.
It's absolutely his fault. I gotta say, hey, Major Joe, say hello, everybody.
Hey, what's
Hey,
up?
listen, I apologize for all that bad language. I know
No language like that permitted.
That's not. I know that's a little bit on the outside
Uncouth.
of uncouth.
Yeah.
Not becoming of a gentleman.
Obviously, that won't make the
An
video.
officer and a gentleman.
Yep.
Oh, it'll make the video. It'll just be a whole bunch of beep, 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 beep. You'll understand what's going on. All right. Well, anyway, listen. I can't believe I've actually got somebody actually over here helping me pick stuff up.
Yeah, we're not itemizing.
That's fine. That's fantastic. Look at this here. Yeah, that's. I guess for next.
We're just
We're just get them in the bucket so that they're not in the grass. Yeah. Oh lordy, unbelievable. All I needed was 2 little tools. I could have reached in there and got them. I don't know. Let's be a show off and bring out all the tools and yeah, here we go.
You show me yours.
I'll show me.
See ya.
See you,
We're gone.
Nick. He's gone.
That's gone.
No chief stuff. Yeah, I should take care of that.
Yeah.
Number 5, Jason Pettit, 92 yards.
Black. No, I guess we got it.
Finally, right side. Good, Nick.
He's gone.
He's gone. There's Garrett's turn.
Now it's Cody's next. Cody's next. Cody's next.